So it's always a good idea to save your file whenever you've done anything major. Now, saving in Photoshop has been the same since the beginning of time, but with the cloud version, they do updates behind the scenes all the time, and they did an update recently which kind of changes the way we've saved since the beginning of time. So in a lot of the videos, you're just going to hear me say hit Command S or hit Shift Command S. Well, those still work, but there's a new little interface in there, so let's go do it. You can always go up to File and then down to Save or Save As. Okay, so we're just going to do File Save because we haven't saved yet. And in here, this window pops up. You can save to the cloud or you can save to your computer. I generally save to the computer. But if you're working at home and you're working at school and you can access the Adobe Cloud, you might want to save to the cloud. I save to the computer and save it to my external hard drive when I'm going back and forth. I always save stuff to the computer. It just works faster to download big files. But like I said, if you're on the move, you might choose the cloud. So I'm going to save to my computer. A dialog box comes up. Where do I want to save it to? I'm going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to create a folder called New Canvas. And I create a new folder for every project I do. And you can put even PHO101 or whatever the class is or the project that you're saving. And I'll hit create. Now I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to title this New Canvas. But notice I have a break here. I'm going to go back in there, close that gap, and put a underscore in there. It's best not to have gaps in your title names just for how computers read things. It makes things work smoother down the road. It'll work, but the pros don't leave gaps. We'll just hit save. Okay, so there's that. If I come in here and just do another circle, let's say, and you're not doing that for your project, this is just for the saving example, fill it with a color, same color that I had before, I can do Command S, and now it's automatically going to save. We don't have to go through that step of going to choose where we want it to go. Now, if I do a save as means I'm going to save a second file. I can change the name, I can move it to a different location. So that would be up here, File, Save As, and notice right here it gives you the keyboard command Shift Command S, and it brings back this window again. So save on your computer, and it's taking me to the same place I saved the last one. Maybe this one, I'm going to call this one New Canvas underscore 4 circles, just so I know the difference. And down here we've got formats. When I click on here, I've got Photoshop, JPEG, all of these good things. Sometimes this is going to be limited as to how we can save it. We always want to save and turn in PSD files, and that is the very first one. A PSD is a Photoshop file, so this is the one you always want to choose. But if you want to email it to your mom, you can go down here and save it as a JPEG. JPEG is a compression format. It takes all the layers that we're creating and flattens them. So we generally don't want to do that unless we're sending it by email or we have some specific need. TIFF is also, and I think I've told you this in other videos, is supports layers. That's what I use when I give it to clients. So Photoshop is always what the files that I make. JPEG if I have to email it, and a TIFF I can give to clients. And I generally don't give my clients layered files. But my client can always read a TIFF. If they don't have Photoshop, they might not be able to read a Photoshop document. So that's another difference. So as we keep going, keep having fun, keep exploring, know that you can do save a copy. If you click in here and you don't have all of these options, click over here where it says save a copy, and it'll bring up everything you need. So start saving, save regularly. Things go wrong. It's a bummer to work for 2 or 3 hours and have the computer crash and not have your work. Okay? But if you save it, it will be there. You can just go reopen it. So every time you do something big, Command S, Command S, Command S.